I'd become totally convinced that we needed to become AI practitioners fully, to use others' software and hope that they would build in the right AI capabilities for us to be at the forefront. It's a little bit too much of a hope and pray type of strategy. So we decided to start to build our own. So this is a experimental system that we're building it on the fly as we go, and we're shipping new features on a weekly or daily basis. I want everybody to be 100% committed and have no fear. No one is going to lose their jobs as a result of us becoming an AI firm and a tech platform.
Do you actually see organizations changing the roles that they're hiring for and the whole job description itself?
We're seeing a lot more kind of involvement in new jobs coming up faster than we've seen before. I become 100% convinced that humans we're just too creative, we are too curious, we're too competitive, we're too excited, we're too petty about things. We want to win, we want to build things, we want to explore and stuff. There's no way that we're not going to find ways to be busy.
Hi everyone, I'm Eric, co-host of the Code Riff podcast. With me, I have my other co-host, Yaohong, and with us, we have a very special guest today, Roger Olofsson. Roger, hey, it's great to have you here.
Great to be here with you guys as well. Really good to see you again.
We're going to spend our time mainly in three parts today. First, we will understand more about yourself and what's happening inside the AI lab of Olofsson AI. Second, we'll go a bit more broadly into AI native services and hopefully some demos as well. And then lastly, we will go into recruitment and the job market. On to our first question, just to understand you a bit more. You spent 25 years in recruitment and search, and you went and bet your whole firm on AI. Can you just kind of take us to the moment of when you decided to go all in with your firm as well?
Yeah, absolutely, Eric. And so good to be here and catch up with both of you. And actually, to maybe take it back a little bit further, even in a so man, it's such a cool time to meet now. 3rd of July, in 3 days. It's 30 years since I came here with a backpack and a suitcase.
Wow.
On the 6th of July, 1996, to spend 10 months here as an exchange student in NTU to finish my software engineering, 4th year, and then fell in love with the place and never went back. So apart from the longest I've been away from Singapore in a stretch is 3 months over these 30 years. I've really been based here the whole time, traveled a lot, but based here. And Singapore became home. Talent and top talent became something that I fell in love with very early in my career. I did work a short stint in turnkey software projects. We were building, and I was sharing with him a project where we were building a CRM solution custom building it before CRM was almost a term.
Wow.
And we were building it on this super cool language that was like the absolute, hottest thing in the market called Java, which is now as legacy as you can get, just one step above COBOL kind of thing, right? But at that time, it was the coolest thing on the planet because it was developed by Sun Microsystems. That's around that time, very early in my career, that the opportunity and the appreciation to marry technology or being in the leading edge of technology and working on projects or opportunities that had an impact on business and transformation and change and innovation and, unlock the human potential in top talent, right? In talent, to get that right, to get the right people into the right roles, get a team or a team of people to work really, really well together to produce outsized returns. I got exposure to that. I joined Robert Walters, which is a big recruitment firm, as a recruitment consultant number 6 in Southeast Asia. So it was like here, even though it was hosted by a publicly listed firm. So we had resources, but we had to build from scratch, and it was fun. And I fell in love with recruitment, and this became my passion, to be in that intersection, always in technology. So it's always been in leading edge technology, working with top talent to work on critical high impact roles in companies in tech. And I got to work in the tail end of the dot-com boom. So I worked with founders in the late 90s, 99, 2000, just before the dot-com crash.
Yeah.
And so I got to see the exciting things with the boom that happened then, but also the aftermath of a bubble like that, where people were struggling then to get jobs in tech for a period of time. Tech after the dot-com crash became a bit unsexy, and most of my colleagues in recruitment that I was in then, they moved to doing front office recruitment for investment banking or maybe finance, life science, exactly. And I was dumb or unfortunate. Not actually fortunate now in hindsight, but I was like, I couldn't find anything else that excited me as much as technology. I tried kind of to take on and manage other teams and stuff, and nothing gave me the excitement and the passion like tech did. So I just continued to do focus on the tech side. And of course, now in hindsight, that ended up being the best move that I could have ever made, because now, out of sheer luck more than any intelligent career planning or anything like that, I now built maybe like 27 years of experience in leading edge tech talent in Singapore and Asia. And maybe there's just a handful of us, if even that, in this country with that type of experience, right? So long story short, 8 years plus ago, I finally did what I had wanted to do since I was 7 years old, start my own firm. Together with the initial investor / co-founder, angel investor, Simon Rawling. That was he's a successful entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur that has built several businesses in the past and exited. And he'd been a client. We'd learned to know each other really well. And we joined forces to start Olofsson Company on the 8th of January 2018. That was the day when we switched the lights on in a serviced office next door to where we are now.
Tell us more about the rebrand, I guess, that recently happened as well.
Yeah.
Or if you don't call it a rebrand, what else?
Yeah. It's actually probably not so much of like the rebrand is, probably sort of the least significant part of what we're doing and who we are now, right? So I just had a conversation with our team today, and we have our half-year team update meeting on Tuesday next week. We've just wrapped up the most successful 6 months as a business that we've had since we started. There are some really exciting and interesting data around our performance that I'm happy to sort of share a little bit about, because it's very AI related. The way that I'm looking at us now is that we're not a recruitment firm, or we're not a traditional recruitment firm for sure. We are a tech firm, or we are an AI native firm that happens to be experts in recruitment. Right. Yeah. So we're experts in recruitment, but that's not who we are. A technology firm, but we're producing recruitment services, and we're doing it, with utilizing, an AI native platform, and that's why. So we decided. So I didn't have the fame and the means like Sebastian, who started Klarna, the CEO of Klarna, which when he played around with, but we probably had similar type of experiences around generative AI. So when he played around with ChatGPT in the Christmas 22, just after the ChatGPT event in November 22, he realized and had this epiphany: this is world changing. This is world changing. We saw the changes ahead of him, and he decided immediately when he came back to office in January to reach out to Sam Altman and book a meeting with him. And he did all the sales trick in the book. He said, it's like, hey, I'm in San Francisco later this month on a trip, and I wonder if I could drop by and meet you. He had no trip planned. But that's the way you do it in sales, right? I'm around the corner, could I meet you? Yes, rush there as quickly as you can. And he went and said to them, I want Klarna to be your guinea pig in financial service or in fintech. Anything that you suggest can be done with generative AI, you can do it with us. You can do it on us. No questions asked. He gave his full commitment, and he's now turned that into a completely AI native company with phenomenal results. I had a similar type of epiphany, much smaller impact and smaller scale, but and it was semi-existential as well. 3 things happened at the same time. One was that I had developed a really strong relationship with Chris, an AI engineer, that were very aligned in terms of our thinking and the way we looked at AI and business and the talent space, and he became available. There was one thing. Second was that I was out running, and I listened to Anton Osika, co-founder of Lovable, on the Harry Stebbings 20 VC podcast. And I was blown away by that interview, by what they're building. And because I love the name, I use love in my language a lot, and just in everywhere. It's and Lovable was such a cool name, and then it's Swedish, and the patriotism kicked in. It's like, man, Swedish coding agent. So I downloaded the same evening immediately. I started playing around with it and realized, oh my God, this is incredible. This is incredible. So there was the second thing, that the agentic coding just started to get to the level where it started to become really useful.
It didn't suck as much.
Exactly, it didn't suck as much. Exactly. And even though it still sucked, but not as much compared to now, right? And then
you could see something.
Exactly. The third element again, just super quickly. So the first one was that Chris and I hit it off in terms of, so there was someone with AI engineering skills. And then second was that the agentic coding got to a level where it started to get really useful. And it was very early days of actually getting useful. And then third thing was that I'd become totally convinced that we needed to become AI practitioners fully, and we need to be in charge of our own destiny, and to use others' software and hope that they would build in the right AI capabilities for us to be at the forefront is kind of it's a little bit too much of a hope and pray type of strategy. I wanted us to be in control, right? So we decided to start to build our own, and now we become a much more of, as I said, a tech firm that is producing recruitment services, and maybe one of the ways, if you want to look at some of the things that so this is a experimental system that we're building it on the fly as we go, and we're shipping new features on a weekly or daily basis, and we're testing different things. So that's why it's also looking really, really kind of quite
very big,
very unique, very quite busy, exhaustive, very busy. This is an internal system that is used by highly technical recruiters that are now become very AI native, very comfortable with the workflows and stuff that we're using. But it gives us, it's all built based on the way that we operate, the way that we work in the markets that we serve, and not like an off-the-shelf type of software that has just been configured to a recruitment firm. We have a search capability that we've built that we're currently rebuilding, actually. So this one, we've used it and tested it significantly, but with all models like GPT 4.0, 4.0 Mini, etc. It's all about also trying to optimize for both precision as well as cost to scale it. But what this user interface enables us to do is to go through tens of thousands of candidates very quickly with an agentic workflow that would run through, for example, 10,000 candidates in like less than 10 minutes. And it does it by spinning up. In this case, we're asking the agent to give us a top 15 candidates.
How many candidates do you have on your platform?
It's constantly moving. It's roughly 395,000 candidates now. So we're approaching 500,000.
Yeah.
Where maybe about around 50% is in Singapore, and about 35% is in the rest of Asia Pacific,
That's a
and
lot.
15% in Silicon Valley, North America, Europe. So yeah, it's growing. So now we have couple of things. What you see here, for example, EXA, is that we have an ability. EXA is a $250 million. The latest round they got was $250 million Series C, led by A16Z about 1 or 2 months ago. A couple of young, super bright founders that went to YC and told them, we're going to disrupt Google search. And for some crazy reason, YC still gave them money, even though it sounds like a crazy idea.
Yeah.
A lot of people have tried and failed, including Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
And but they didn't get. They decided to go against YC's advice. They didn't talk to any customers. They took the check and they bought GPUs for it and locked themselves into a basement and started to experiment and build.
Yeah.
And now they built this tool that is agentic AI search for agents.
Oh wow.
So we are actually
So you're a client of EXA?
Yeah. So we're doing a POC with them. We built in their solution into our UI, where we can then put in.
So this will spin off a new web search for
Exactly. So this
recruiters. I mean roles that you're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah. So this enables us to cast the net a lot wider. So let's say that, for example, we think that we've exhausted our 395,000 candidates that we have on our own platform, and we want to go wider.
Yeah.
We kick off this website search, where we can then put in the query or what we're looking for, or distill it from job descriptions, etc. And then
Can you show any examples?
I want to see if I can find something that we did for in Japan in particular. We had some good
Japan
results.
is not so easy, right? Because candidates are usually not on LinkedIn or
You need Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. So
very specific.
You have no one speaking
criteria.
Japanese here, right?
No, actually we don't. We have a little bit of Korean. We have Chinese, of course, and but not Japanese.
Okay.
And so. This is a bit sensitive though, because it shows client information and stuff. But it was particularly effective for us in Japan, because LinkedIn is not very strong there.
Yeah.
And here we were able to extract really, really good information. We've also done work on AI researchers and AI scientists across the region, which includes Singapore, of course, China, because that has the largest population of AI scientists outside of the United States, probably bigger. And then what we can do here, the good thing with using a tool like EXA is that it gives us an ability to search across anything on the public internet and in hyperspeed. So this goes off and do it asynchronously. So, we just kick off the query, the search.
You wait for it to complete.
With our work, and then it just flags it to us when it's ready and it's up and running. We can look at some of the search results and stuff. So what we do is everything that we do, whether it's an EXA search or a SQL search, just a Boolean search on our database, or an agentic search where we either using this UI that I just showed you, or AI source search, the UI that we used to use in the past, that we're now rebuilding, or we go into using just a terminal, or Claude code on a terminal, where we built, again, a whole library or catalog of different skills to enable, including self-learning skills as well, where these are continuously getting modified based on feedback from our consultants. All of the results goes into a page called Precision, and we call this Precision Search. Our working name now for the system internally, for the fun of it, has been Mankind so far, but we are looking for a different name for if we're going to bring it out to the market or productize it. So it's like, just our own internal code name. So here, for example, we could look at when we brought a client that we're working with is looking for account executives. Then we have done an agentic search on all the 395,000 candidates where we give the job description and we give the consultant comments based on a client meeting or even the client notes from a transcript, putting it into, in this case, currently in the new version that we're working on, we put it into the terminal, and the skills that we built on Claude Code then goes off to work and connects to or searches the database based on, and we've done a cascading type of agent where we've trained it with context, because in itself it's not necessarily, it can be, even though it's super intelligent, it can be quite clumsy in terms of how it would think about, in our case, structuring a search. But it doesn't have the experience that we have, right?
Yeah.
Based on 25 plus years of doing this. So we've then trained it with context to say, okay, initially you have 395,000 candidates. What are the things that you can do with SQL, with Boolean search statements and stuff to filter this down to a more manageable number, like 10,000? So if you get to 10,000 or below, then we start to work with, in this case, because we're using Claude Code in this current prototype, Haiku to do kind of low weight or low lifting volume tasks on these 10,000 candidates, because there are patterns that we can look for. They're pretty straightforward, even so, some of these things, like years of experience and stuff, is already indexed on the system, so you can extract that straight away. But let's say that you're looking at a certain type of, let's say they're looking for candidates that have studied at Ivy League or Ivy League equivalent universities across the world. Very difficult query to do on LinkedIn, for example, in the old days. You had to list every bloody name of every university that you think, and it would do it by keyword search.
Sales Navigator to pay for Sales Navigator, and you can kind of filter for the specific schools they're looking for.
So what the system is able to do is to go and do searches on these 395,000 candidates, complemented with candidates from anywhere in the world with tools like EXA in particular, then grab it all, put it all together, create a data pipeline for the consultants that it produces, that it then presents on a UI that, again, maybe looks busy to the untrained eye. But for us, we've kind of optimized this for technical recruiters that are really good at what they're doing, that want to move fast. So they get a lot of data in front of them without having to scroll and look at one or two things. They get to see all the details that are important to them. They can very quickly go in and look at the candidate information, as well as this is critical, the commentary, the reason why the agent is selected.
And you actually have a score there for each candidate specific to that role that you're hiring for. So it's not a generic score.
No, exactly. It's spot on. Specific to that. And then you see these green dots, and the red dots are very significant, because this is where human judgment is agreeing with the agent. So every candidate that has been presented by the model, selected by the model or the agent, and then Sean, in this case, our expert recruiter in this for this role, she says, yes, this is a good candidate, tick pipelined. Yes, this is a good candidate. No, this is not good. Then exclude it with a red tick. And at times, we say, you don't have to do it all the time. But every now and then, if something stands out, put a comment in. Put some feedback in as well. And then this...
You can train on this.
Exactly. So the next iteration of search that the agent goes off and do, then it automatically goes back and looks at this whole list. Any candidate has been screened, and it looks at the green ones as good examples, red ones as bad examples, and any commentary as well, to then tune the rubric, the decision-making criteria for the next round, and it just gets better and better and better.
And new candidates that show up, they can actually use a rubric that you use here.
Exactly. And this, I would say, this is part of the secret sauce that is making us super fast now compared to a traditional manual way.
The right candidate.
Exactly. And finding the right candidates, we're automating a lot of other things as well, like proposals, CV formatting is completely automated, write-ups and summaries and all these kind of things, outreach more and more and more. But The one that is the biggest crux for us in the value creation is the matching of the right. So Will Brook in EXA says that they are inventing perfect search because they felt Google failed or didn't get it all the way.
Yeah.
So they're trying to not just do okay search, but perfect search. And my response to him was that that's super cool. We should work closer together because we are doing perfect matching. We're building perfect matching of the right candidate with the right job. And that is super complicated. Actually, advanced models, frontier models, is the only thing so far over 27 years of experience that I've seen that has come close to being able to touch, being a solution for this problem. Because a human being is so complex. So if you look at this, this bar here shows us that out of a total of 193 candidates that were produced for Shan, she's gone through 61, and she's agreed with the agent 45 out of those 61 times. 73.8% agreement between the agent and an expert recruiter. And if you do, what we're trying to avoid is what we call the doom scrolling, right? The doom scrolling on Instagram and that sort of stuff, right? The equivalent for a recruiter is to go through page after page of LinkedIn. It is soul destroying. I joked with Chris when we started building this. Do you know how good this feels for me? I probably wasted about 8 years of my life, total time, looking at wrong candidates on LinkedIn.
How did it feel?
That feels terrible to think about how many years I've wasted, but it feels so exciting about not having to waste any more of that time, and saving it for other fellow recruiters as well, right? And just producing better results much, much quicker.
Match more people to their
Exactly.
jobs. It's kind of being a forerunner or like the first one to do a certain thing, right? And you're kind of innovating on the model of recruitment, right?
True. But true. That's true, Eric. But still, expertise, intention, authenticity, the desire to deliver a great service and get it right between clients and candidates makes a difference. And I think that's going to continue to make a difference, even if we have a similar type of tool set, but just more advanced, right? It's just moving the expectation, the frontier of what we can do. Instead of taking 2 months to make a placement, maybe we do it in 2 weeks. But then we're just going to be able to, and hopefully, instead of getting it right maybe 70% of the time on average in the industry or whatever it is, maybe we start to get it right 98% of the time, which is then adding value to the world, making. So one of the things that I, a little bit cheesy at times, say as a tagline is that we make the world a happier place, one placement at a time.
I mean, if you have tried recruiting before, you would appreciate a good recruiter. Right?
And that's so exciting. And Yaohong, you're right about that. That's another way that we're looking at it. It's like, if you think about, if you've ever recruited someone, or if you have been looking for a job yourself, and you have had the fortunate experience of working with a really good recruitment consultant that knows their stuff and they have their best interest at heart, it's a great experience. You would never want to go through a recruitment process without that that person, right? But you wouldn't use it all the time because it's expensive. Right? It's prohibitive in that way. What if you could democratize this by making it so AI supercharged and supported, so that I as a recruiter can do 10 times the work that I could do manually traditionally? Then I could do it arguably at 1/5 of the cost and make twice as much money, or do it at 1/10 of the cost and still making as much money, which means everybody could afford it. Everybody could afford it. Suddenly, it's not something that you just use for the most difficult roles or the most senior roles, right?
So maybe I would add to that is that, I mean, for a recruiter, knowing the scores or having the candidates is actually not the secret sauce, right? It's actually you knowing the candidate personally, the relationship that makes you a better recruiter in a way. Because I mean, I'm looking for my own experience, right? Like in the past, when I've known quite a few recruiters, and there are some I'm like, okay, this guy is just here to kind of just for this role, and then that's it, right? But there's some that follow my career, and they would reach out whenever something pops up in the radar. Yeah,
Exactly, and I think that comes to something that we I think we've touched on before, and would be that we probably something that really important that at the core of this whole AI transformation is what's going to be left for in our industry recruitment consultants to do. What's the uniquely human? And I think Yaohong, you hit the nail on the head. It's still that relationship, that trust, that understanding of another human being, and having their best interest at heart. That I think is still going to continue to be the secret sauce and the reason why our roles will continue to exist as well. I think that like we said when we started this journey with the team, I told them, listen, I want everybody to be 100% committed and have no fear. No one is going to lose their jobs as a result of us becoming an AI firm and a tech platform.
So you made that promise?
I made a promise, yes. Yeah. Everybody's jobs are safe.
You see the human there, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We're just going to build in two things we're going to do with AI. One is we're going to supercharge you. You're going to be like a superhuman recruitment consultant with powers that you never had before, and you're going to be able to move a lot faster and deliver much better results to your clients and candidates. Yeah. And second is that the cool thing is that for most of you, or probably all of you, a lot of the things that you don't enjoy doing so much in recruitment is going to be taken away. You're not going to have to do that.
You don't have to scroll LinkedIn anymore.
Exactly. You don't have to doom scroll LinkedIn anymore. Exactly. And do all the admin work and all that sort of stuff, right? And so that's going to be taken care of by AI and agentic AI. And then you're going to be left to do all the cool and fun stuff, talking to super smart people, negotiating, coming to, coming to a good deal that works for both sides and have impact, right? Yeah. So it's from that perspective, it's all good news, right?
So I'm just curious, did that message resonate with people that you hired, or were there any pushback, when you made that statement as well? Because I'm sure some people might not trust that fully, right? Like how do I take your word for it?
Yeah, it's a good point. I think we have I think we're fortunate enough to have a very high trust culture, and so the people that came on board. I mean, we're a small team. We're just 8 people in the business, right? So it's easier that way. But the people that came on board, like Shan, that we're seeing her name here on the system and stuff, she's the last batch, and she feels very happy about it. She's the last batch that actually saw the old Olofsson Company and has been through the whole transition. So they later, because as they've joined lately, they've only seen us as our own tech, having our own tech platform and being an AI native firm. But she's been through the whole transition. She's appreciating what it used to be like and what it is like now, which is pretty cool. And but no, it hasn't been. For us, it hasn't been any pushback. People have been really AI forward. But I think you have to, in order for that to happen, I think there is a response. You have the responsibility as a leader to work really hard at building that trust. And that's similar to what you said as well, Yaohong, about in recruitment to work with a recruiter that you can feel has your best interest at heart, either as a client or as a candidate. Because of the way that the commercials are structured in our business model, in our industry, it's not obvious or intuitively true for a client or a candidate that me as a recruiter has your best interest or your best interest at heart. Our fee is a percentage on salary. So from a client perspective, it looks like we probably would always want to try to push salaries up because then we make more money. Likewise, for a candidate, if you think about it, when we're trying to guide and advise you as a candidate towards the end, and we're trying to maybe give you the reasons why this could be a phenomenal career move for you to take this opportunity as a candidate. And the way that I always explain it to candidates is that most recruitment firms, whether you know it or not, they would celebrate the placement where you signed the offer and they would be super happy. Or they would celebrate the deal when you're starting, the first day when you're starting. Or they would celebrate when you pass your guarantee period of 3 months. And if you resign now, we don't have to pay anything back. We we celebrate a year after you've joined, when we're meeting for a lunch or a drink or a cup of coffee, and you telling us, Roger, I'm so happy. This is the best career move I've ever made in my life.
Wow.
That's when we know that we did the right thing.
Do you measure that?
So we do.
You do? Okay.
And our percentage success rate is really, really high. It's in the 90% plus.
Wow.
And,
NPS,
Yeah.
Net Promoter Score.
Yeah.
Happy people.
Yeah.
Two observations from your platform, right? One is that it seems like the human is usually in the loop. And the second one is it seems like you're also training the system to do better than it was with the upvotes and downvotes. Can you explain a bit more about the philosophy around that as well?
Yes, we do like to have human in the loop. We really believe in that human judgment is so important, particularly in this area, because we're only dealing with humans. And to think that something unhuman would be able to
I mean, it's ironic, right? It's a recruiter, but it's all robotics.
Exactly.
All robots inside, yeah.
Exactly. And but we are also having kind of now built abilities for the agent to do relatively long horizon tasks. So as an example, I was meeting with I bumped into a client downstairs. We're both runners, so he's a marathon runner as well. And then they are an AI company and like super advanced. And we work very closely with them. And I just said, like, man, I'm so excited. I'm just going to go up now to the office and I'm going to see what results has showed up on my computer, my agent, because one of our consultants have just started a search for an account executive for a data integration platform company in Hong Kong. And it's slightly different role than we've done before. So we kind of extracted new data and run the agent. So the agent has been running throughout when I'm out running. So, and then now I will have hopefully a short list of, or a long list of 50 really good candidates for my consultant to start looking at. And they don't have to do any of the search. And I've been able to be out doing a run. And he's like, he was so excited because he said, like, that's exactly, with AI, it's not about just improving or chipping away of your processes and making them a little bit faster, a little bit better. It's about reimagining the way that you do your work and to do it in a completely different way that you have, you haven't had the discovering new capabilities, if you like. And so that's a lot what we're doing now. We have those, so we can kick off and run many searches in parallel that goes off and does work and across different countries whilst we go off and do other things, whether we are doing other work or we're in an interview or we go out for a run or go out for lunch or whatever it is. And then we come back and then put the human in the loop touch in terms of still when it comes to then the screening and decision making around which one are the right candidates. We don't know, we don't want to automate the whole process end to end.
How much of the long running tasks capability has been due to like the frontier models improving versus like you guys training the model with all your upvotes, downvotes and comments and evaluations? And
so the capacity to do more, better instruction following and longer horizon tasks, that comes almost entirely from the improvement of the models and the frontier models. And that's one of the reasons why we feel we have an opportunity in our business, being a startup and being a tech platform company now and sort of an AI lab in the space of human or talent matching, if you like, right? Yeah. We're able to constantly use the latest models and then test them and tune more with context engineering. And we're actually following, again, maybe by like, if you look at, you could do it in different ways. Like if you look at, for example, in the agentic AI for law, you have Harvey out of the US and you have Legora out of Sweden. And again, I happen to be siding more with the Swedish. Forgive me for that, being a little bit patriotic again. And Harvey has heavily post-trained and fine-tuned models for their systems. Legora has done zero fine-tuning.
Actually, Harvey has shifted to use more of the models,
Frontier
models instead.
Yeah, so
They realized that there was no point in overtraining it.
exactly. So they've kind of admitted defeat in terms of their strategy in a way, right?
Yeah.
Because Legora is eating their lunch in Europe. They're taking over Europe, and now they're taking the battle to the US, and both are fantastic companies. But again, and that's the timing. So Harvey started earlier, so they didn't know how advanced the models were going to get then, and they also got a lot of funding. Legora started much later, 2 years ago. Models were a lot more advanced, and also they only had $50,000 worth of funding, so they couldn't buy GPUs. They had no choice, so they had to play. The only choice was to let's bet on the models developing so fast.
Yeah.
And now, so they build. So we want to be the same for recruitment in a way. We want to build the most advanced harness, the most advanced agentic framework that constantly plugs and plays the best models. So the first time reasoning models came out, 4.0, we were working with that. And then as soon as Gemini 2.5 Pro came out in April, about 1 year ago, about 14 months ago, the preview version with 1 million token context window, the first one that had 1 million token context and reasoning, it was the best. That was a game changer for us. I still meet constantly or often. I meet with a candidate that I placed that we're joking about it all the time that he might be having a badge of honor, unofficially at least, to be possibly the first candidate that was selected by Gemini 2.5 Pro for a job matching exercise in the world. Not just in Singapore, but in the world.
Wow.
And he was 1 out of 3 candidates that Gemini 2.5 Pro shortlisted for a job when we put it into production when it was brand new. No one, I guarantee you, we were the first for a recruitment specific use case. We must have been the first in Singapore for sure to use that model. And he was 1 out of 3. I couldn't believe the precision that model had with the tuning and the context tuning that we brought to it. And he got the job. And then we'd moved from GPT to Gemini, and then now these last 6 months we've been very Anthropic or Claude centric, right? Since 4.5 came out, right, there was the shift where the reasoning capability, of course, on coding, but not just coding, went to a new level, right? And then who knows what's going to be next? And we are in some ways. We are completely, or actually not in some way, we're completely model neutral in a way. And very similar to how Max sees it in Legora is that for their clients, and they obviously built the software. We are an AI native services company currently, AI powered recruitment platform or tech company.
One last thing before we move off the platform that you built. You also mentioned that now, given that Claude Code and all is improving, you guys are shifting a bit more off your own platform. You're kind of rediscovering new kind of workflows. Do you mind sharing a bit more about what drove that decision when it comes to like going back to the terminal, going back to Claude Code or the Claude app, right? Like what drove that decision? Other than API costs, I guess APIs are. Token costs are quite expensive as well. But maybe beyond that, like how do you think about using that?
So yes, really good question, Eric. And I think that we have our team has become like semi-technical, right? Even though they're recruiters, so they are all now. We've trained them on using the CLI, the terminal.
Do they have like a 5x or 20x plan or something, or? So
yes, so we have a combination of them. We have the top end max plans, and then mid level the $100 type of plan. I think that's the 5x, right? And then because it's like so now. Then everybody has access to Claude Code, and that has access to our, the platform, the agentic platform that we built, and that works in synergy with each other. So you can suddenly now custom build small pieces of software if you want to, or just do any tasks on the system directly from the terminal, and everybody has become comfortable with it. And in some ways, because things are so fast moving, there's a reason why, Anthropic itself choose the terminal as kind of the main interface, right? Because it's just it is very basic, but it's also then super flexible and versatile. Exactly. So now we have all kinds of capabilities. If I want to, most of the time these days, I don't touch the UI of the system that much anymore. I just tell Claude Code to do this for me, do that, update these things, book this, book that. If it is something that is outside the standard kind of outreach and the interview booking or the search.
So you just use like MCPs and all to
exactly.
connect to different apps.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then if, for example, like now on Monday mornings, we have our team sales meeting, and I just have a job then that goes, or I can either do it manually, ask Claude Code to produce a report of all the important activities that happened last week, and then send, just update it or package it in a sort of packaged reporting format, and even just use its own intelligence to flag anything that I need to be aware of and stuff, and then just send it to in an email to me. And so we can even do, as we...
Are you showing something?
I could do that.
Okay. All right, so for now, Roger has put it.
Send me a report on this week's activities on email.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I can see it's calling Superbase, it's looking through your meetings, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it just goes through all the activities for the whole team, all the consultants across the week. So it picks the dates and stuff, and then runs through.
And that Superbase, I guess, is the one that's powering your platform right now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a PostgreSQL database on Superbase, hosted on Vercel, and then everything is mainly React, TypeScript built in terms of the front end and the logic and stuff. And so then we can leave that for now, and then it will hopefully turn up as an email in my inbox in a few minutes' time.
We'll get back to that.
I guess the biggest question I have right now is that from a recruiter's point of view, do you see the market changing, right, in terms of the roles that people are hiring for? Before this whole wave, right, like 5 years ago, full stack engineer was a thing, front end engineer was a thing, but now if a back end engineer can actually do front end work, then what makes him a back end engineer,
Yeah. Definitely, this is the most transformative time that we have experienced in probably all of human history, to be honest. It's, I think that Demis Hassabis has a very, very cool framework for this, which is like a 10x kind of mind map of it, that is where it says that the AI revolution is going to have 10 times the impact of the industrial revolution, but at a tenth of the time, 10 times speed. It's going to be 10 times faster. So the industrial revolution took maybe about 150 years. So in 15 years, we're going to have 10x as much change, which you can imagine, like that's 100 times the experience, right? 100 times delta compared to what we experienced in the industrial revolution. And I think that's probably true, and that's the way it feels like. It's moving really, really fast, and everything is almost kind of changing by the day.
Yeah. How does that? I guess how do you combat that feeling? Because it always feels quite fearful, right? For engineers to, people in tech to think about it. And how do you kind of how will you address that?
I would encourage everyone. This is really, really hard, right, to do. But I would encourage everyone to try not to be scared. It's not easy, right? But because fear is a very destructive emotion, there's kind of limits, sub-optimizes our ability to maximize our experience in life in a way, right? And I would say, so for example, now I've always done a lot of career talks, both to experienced people, professionals, leaders at times, and also fresh grads or students coming out of university, etc., and getting ready for work life, for MBA students, etc. So a lot of career talks, and for my whole career, I've always been very certain about, for example, this job category, or to become a software engineer will be always good. It's always need more of them,
Except
right?
now.
Except now. Now I've started to say to people, honestly, I don't really care what you study and what you want to do in life. All I really care about is that you figure out how to utilize AI to do whatever you love doing or want to do better and faster. That's it. That's the most important thing. Because it's very hard to predict what type of jobs that's going to be still there and it's going to be relevant. But I think the signal, what we can predict on, is that every job is going to become, almost every single job on the planet is going to be done better by a human that is assisted by or knows how to use AI tools in a really, really useful and powerful way. And I really believe that it's true that what I've heard a bunch of people say in the market, that the competition is not going to be between humans and AI. It's going to be between humans not using AI and humans that use AI. And I'm very positive, optimistic about this. I think that I do think that we're going to live in a world where there is going to be coding and software is going to become a software as a service in a way, more so than the traditional SaaS side. Software on the fly, maybe as a service, is going to become so much part of what we do. We're just going to build and throw and build and throw and build and rebuild and build on top of, etc. And everybody's going to do that almost. And in a way, so that I think that we're not going to need less software engineering capability. Most of us are going to be able to do it on the fly for basic things, our private needs, or as a small business or whatever. But then it's still going to be needed to do it, to be able to understand at a very large, complex scaled architectural level, or from a security standpoint, how to get these pieces together to actually work reliably and safely. And that's still going to need engineering skills, architectural skills. And so I'm very optimistic that there's going to be a place for software engineers in the future as well.
Yeah, I think software engineering as a job, right? The coding is actually not the main part, actually, right?
Yeah.
It's the problem solving, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to figure out what you're trying to solve, and to solve it in a sometimes efficient manner or cost-efficient manner, right?
Maybe one last point on this one. Do you actually see organizations changing the roles that they're hiring for, and the whole like job description itself? Like, what is that evolving into?
Yeah. I think job descriptions are still sort of job descriptions, but I don't think that's
required is
the skills that's required are different, and it's and that is changing. And we're seeing a lot more kind of involvement in new jobs coming up faster than we've seen before. Like, obviously we had prompt engineers that started it, and then and then context engineers, and then we had now earlier this year or late last year we started working on agentic product managers for the first time. We'd only worked on product managers before that. And that's actually different. So it's in the easiest way to kind of explain it is the perfect agentic product manager is the merging or the breed of a McKinsey consultant with like a Google product manager, right? Because Google kind of invented modern product management, right? What's her name? The lady that became the CEO of Yahoo was the one of the sort of first product management leads. Marissa Mayers. That was where modern tech product management was invented, right? In that team. And so if you combine like a strategy consultant from McKinsey that knows how to engage with clients and solve problems, together with like a Google product manager, if you like, and that's the perfect sort of amalgamation for what would be an agentic product manager now and in the future, that then builds these agent solutions on site with customers based on the agentic frame harness platform. There could be a Sierra or a Legora or Harvey or anyone else of the new platforms that are coming in, right? So that's a new role that wasn't there just maybe 18 months ago. Because maybe Sierra came up with it, and they're only 2 years old as a company, 2 years plus. And And then we have started to work on another one that is really cool, is that in the customer service space, so one of our clients wants to work on building a program with the Singapore government to be able to take customer service team leads, customer support team leads, and retrain them to become agent orchestrators.
Interesting.
Because then now they're going to manage mostly a team of agents.
Because the responses will actually be agentic in nature.
Exactly.
And these people's responsibility make sure that the agents don't give you weird responses.
Exactly. And they then going to work. But even the agents were, the motion that they follow when they actually then deploy a solution is more similar to onboarding a person or people rather than implementing and configuring software. So they bring they come in with their agent product managers or forward deployed engineers, and then they start to actually onboard this software, this agent, rather than implement it, and then train it together. And then that's where you need the agent orchestrator on the client side, the person that knows the domain of customer service, and then train and onboard and give the instructions and the material for these agents to be able to then get up to speed and start to be able to deal with the different customer service inquiries and edge cases and these kind of things, right?
So cool.
Yeah.
More jobs, please.
Yeah.
No, this is so cool because
the nature of jobs will change.
No, I think that's really good, because right now you just hear about FDEs and everyone's talking about FDEs, but I mean this add a lot of meat.
Exactly.
What jobs are gonna look like.
Exactly. And honestly, I think so 3 years ago, after the ChatGPT event, I had an existential crisis almost, and I was really scared about we're not going to have jobs as humans anymore. I was kind of a little bit negative there for a period of time, and I've gone through that now into becoming super positive. I become 100% convinced that we're just too creative. We are too curious. We're too competitive. We're too excited. We're too petty about things. We want to win. We want to build things. We want to explore and stuff. There's no way that we're not going to find ways to be busy. And honestly, like me and everyone I speak to that is in the AI world, even though I get maybe 10 times as much done today, in a way, sometimes.
10 times more busy.
I probably don't get, maybe I get twice as much done and I'm 10 times as busy. It feels like I hardly have time to sleep, And and that's most of my friends in the industry and stuff reports the same experience, right? So I think it is, I think this is a very exciting time. I think there's going to be huge opportunities for people in new types of jobs and new challenges. And I think, and another thing also that is more localized, I was at the same time, I was also worried about Singapore's place on the planet, because we've been able to be a really good subcontract manufacturer in the early days, in the 60s and 70s. That's how we kind of started to develop into a developed nation. And then we became a really good financial services hub in the late 80s and 90s, early 2000s. Then we became an innovation and life science hub and etc. Right? And we've been able to find our relevance in the world over and over again because, quite frankly, I mean, our government executes extremely well. It comes up with really well thought through strategies and executes consistently on it, better than maybe any other government in the world. But I was worried about this time we might not be able to find our place. We might not be able to get it right. It might not even be possible to get it right because it's so large scale. It is so centralized to Silicon Valley and then a black box of China in a way. And those are the two power centers, and there's nothing in between anymore. And I can say, so 3 years ago, I was really worried. 2.5 years ago, now I am so excited and so happy about Singapore's position in the new world of AI, in the world order, and how much of a center in Asia and one of the centers or hubs in the world that I've seen that we've started to become. We have OpenAI here, we have Google DeepMind, we have X.AI, we have several early stage startups, Series A to C, with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of funding that are committed and built, that are building AI labs in Singapore, that are building AI engineering hubs for distributed computing, etc. And it's a good time. It's a good time to be a human being. It's a good time to be a builder, and it's a good time to be in Singapore.
Very positive end to that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I mean, most of the time when you hear about AI, it's like, oh, my jobs are gonna be gone. AI is gonna take over my lunch. Blah blah blah. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe with that, we've come to our very exciting lightning round.
Yeah. Yes.
Are you ready, Roger?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. What's 2 or 3 books that you often recommend?
Or one that comes immediate to mind is The Hard Things About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz in A16Z. It is phenomenal. If you're gonna read one, if you're an entrepreneur, early stage startup builder, and you're just gonna read one book, then that's the book to read. Particularly if you're going through difficult times. I read it the first time. I read it twice now. I read it the first time when we were going through, before we bet the life of the company several times over these last 8 years, but we're going through a real difficult time. And that was the first time in a while that I was laughing, because when he was going through the stuff that he had gone through, Ben Horowitz, in his first startup or second startup, it made me feel like, man, what I'm going through is nothing. And it was just, I was out running, listening to it. And that has so many practical learnings or teachings about how to get through anything from the greatest challenges to the biggest opportunities, to capitalize on that. Another one is Peter Thiel's
0 to 1.
0 to 1. Brilliant as well.
Yeah.
And I love how Peter Thiel is so focused on both top talent, but also getting the best, making sure that people that love working together work together. He does not underrate the importance of, relationships and liking each other, knowing each other, trusting each other. Those are 2 phenomenal books.
Okay, a favorite kind of content of a show or film that you enjoy?
Favorite UFC.
Podcast.
Podcast. Oh man, podcast.
UFC is also good.
20 VC, Harry Stebbings, 20 VC. Yeah. I think that guy is doing a phenomenal job getting some of the best VCs and startup guys or founders on the podcast and asking just brilliant questions, getting the best out of them. And UFC, because there's something extremely honorable and even spiritual, and then at the bleeding edge of competition in something as kind of sort of seemingly barbaric as mixed martial arts and cage fighting.
What's a place in Singapore that is special to you?
That is actually Asia Market Cafe. It's a awesome halal buffet dinner place in Raffles City in Fairmount Hotel. We spent many family dinners there with my twin daughters and their birthdays, my wife's birthday, my mother-in-law's birthday, etc. So it brings very fond memories to me.
Thanks for sharing that place. What's a line or philosophy you go back to?
Never make a decision that might make you feel like you're winning in the short term at the sacrifice of long-term relationships. Never do that. Never do. It's never worth it. Even if you think I could gain a little bit from this, but if that at all has any risk of sacrificing or damaging long-term relationship, the answer is simple: never do it. And if you live by that principle, you become someone that people will want to build and maintain long-term relationships with.
What's a crazy fitness goal you've done, or a crazy fitness thing that you've done?
The current goal that I have is to complete, and I've run 10 marathons. So I've run 6 marathons so far. So initially I did half marathons, and then the goal became no, they can be over any time. But maybe I should do it in a year, right? That might be the next one. The scary thing now though is that because initially when I did my first marathon, it was about will I be able to do it or not, right? But now it's not a question about that anymore because I've done 6. So I know I can do it. So now the scary thing is that some of my founder and VC friends and stuff and tech friends, they're into ultra marathons. and I'm getting really scared that
one is
I
scary, yeah.
I might have to start to do that.
Last one. Where can people find you, and how can listeners be helpful to you?
So I am probably easiest to find on LinkedIn. That's probably the way the social platform that I use the most. And I would be, and otherwise in any often in meetup groups in agentic coding, AI type of activities and stuff.
Yeah.
If you're around Raffles Place, you're probably likely to bump into me at some point of time.
But yeah, thanks so much, Roger. Thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. Really, really fun. Really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for setting this up.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to our episode. We hope you enjoyed it and learned as much as we did. You can check out our Substack. And if you liked what you heard, please feel free to subscribe, like, and share on your favorite channels on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. And we hope to see you in the next episode. Post-credit scene. What came into your email?
Oh, yes. That is good. Love it.
It's pretty nice.
So 202 total actions. Yeah, 47.
You can see
29.
who's working very hard.
Exactly.
Roger is definitely not working at all.
I'm not doing anything. I'm hanging out doing podcasts and stuff. Exactly. So let me see the activities across different consultants. Sean, what she's done, her pipeline, what she's pipeline excluded, client meetings, 2, the jobs, the projects she's working on, the delivery activities across those core activity levels that are critical to our type of business, daily activities, and then you see it across for Clarence, Day,
Very good.
And you.
Roger.
and me. Yeah,
Because
I
the
will.
metrics for you are different from the rest.
Look at that. That is, yeah, exactly. I clearly, hopefully I'm doing.
show
this, I
can show this.
Yeah.
The rest I cannot show.
Yeah, that's
Worst performer on the team.
exciting. Always the case. They're carrying me, and so that's it. That's
Nice,
it.
cool, man. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Roger.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, man.
Yaohong.
Yes.
That's been
Thank you.
fantastic,
Yeah.
man. That was
That was
great.
fun. Yeah.